It's giving official. You see the sign? Period. Hey y'all, it's Christelle, and today I'm spilling all the tea on how to start, grow, and get paid from YouTube and content creation in general. I was invited to an official YouTube Black event where industry insiders who literally work at YouTube, as well as big creators with that 100K plaque, shared their insight and answered questions from the algorithm to building an audience. There's a whole lot more that I've learned since starting my channel, so if you want to learn the good, bad, and the ugly, then definitely keep watching. Hey y'all, it's Christelle. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking all about becoming a paid content creator. That goes for on YouTube, that goes for short form like TikTok, whatever you want to call it. I have a lot of notes and I kind of wanted to split this up into 2 videos, so forgive me if it's a little bit jumbled, but I do have my notes right here. I will have the chapters in the description as well as the comments, because I know how y'all like to tussle. I do not gatekeep. Any questions you have, drop them below and I'll be sure to answer them. If this one reaches the right people and y'all, have more questions, just feel free to answer below. But anyway, for those of you who don't know me, I've been creating content since 2020, but in 2022, I quit my job and I spent an entire year just creating content. I just know that some people even just want to get gifted products. I have a video on my channel. I have a whole playlist on my channel about content creation, UGC, influencing, all of that you should definitely check out. But I know a lot of people want to know like how to get paid, how to get collabs, how to get monetized on YouTube or all your other platforms, and that's where I come in because I have experienced that. Just because I'm monetized doesn't mean I'm making thousands, but we'll get into all of that later. But if you want to learn how to become a better creator, how to get paid for what you do, and what your rate should be, how collabs work, this is the video for you, so stay tuned. I also was approved to attend an official YouTube Black event last year, so I went and I got insider information on how the algorithm works, what you do need to be doing, what you don't need to be doing, in fact, growing, charging brands, your mindset, and more. I want us all to eat. There's room at the table for all of us to eat. So anyway, get a nice little snack, whatever you need to do. But I am spilling all the tea on how to become a paid creator, a YouTuber, monetization, all of that. Things I wish I knew. This is gonna be real. I'm gonna share with you the information, but also things that I wish I knew were misconceptions. So yeah, stick it through with me. I definitely think it'll be worth the watch, and I would love if you could comment, subscribe, share, do what it do. And without further ado, let's get into the video. First and foremost, you have to take this serious. It's a business. It's not a hobby unless you want it to be. You have to adjust. You need to have a specific email for your content because you don't want brands reaching out to you and it gets lost in junk and in your 800 folders and your thousands of unread messages and emails. My content email is in all of my descriptions. It's in my social media bios because brands will literally reach out to you just because they see your content, because they have teams that are scouting for creators and micro influencers to give them products, to invite them to do events and campaigns. I'm at the point where, and we're claiming this, I'm going on brand trips and events this year. I'm saying that, I'm speaking that into existence because that's what I want, and I want it to be easy for them to reach me. So make sure you have this serious, they need to be able to communicate with you. You're a content creator, you're a business owner, so you need to treat it as such. It all starts with there. Don't let anybody, there's been a lot of propaganda online about content creators who are oh my gosh, you're setting up your tripod. If you know how much these brands are paying you, in the brief for the project is literally to go set up your tripod and get some content in store. Stop caring about what other people think because they're not paying your bills. But content can, and it has at some points. It hasn't been completely livable for me, and I will be so transparent, y'all. I think I quit my job prematurely, but that's the thing, that favor follows me and God always has me, and my steps have always been ordered, and now I'm back doing content full-time for a brand that I love. So it's just everything works out. But I did quit my job probably before I needed to. Again, it all worked out, but unless you have money saved up, I don't recommend anybody quit their job to pursue content because it's hard. And some of you are gonna start, or you might have already started and you know what I'm talking about, where it's you will put all of this work in just to get no views, and it makes you want to fall back. It makes you want to not promote. It makes you want to not create. And this is something that has bled out into different areas of my life. If you're going through a storm, why would you sit down? You have to keep going. You need to keep on pushing through. If you're struggling with views, you have to push through the opposition of wanting to quit. So why would you quit when you're on the precipice of greatness. Your blow up could be tomorrow. Your video could pop off at any time. Like, have faith, believe that your time is coming. Treat it like a business and trust. If people are doubting you, you can't join the ranks of the people that are doubting you, that are wishing on your downfall. Other people are sowing seeds of doubt. You don't want to be one of those people for your own thing. So believe in yourself, believe in your content. You know your content is good. You know you ate that thumbnail. You know you did your research. And if the algorithm doesn't pick it up, there could be other things at play, which we'll get into. But I'm so glad I went to that YouTube event, bro. This is literally just like, YouTube is a whole different beast. Like, I even have a how to create a YouTube channel that I made before I had 500 subscribers. I'm that type of delusional, because now I have 3,000 plus. And one day I'll be looking back on this when I have 100,000. I'll be like, wow, I just always seen the vision. Like, you have to keep going, you know? If you're creating content, if you're in a lull, if you're just starting, if you have popped off and now that has weared off, because that's happened to me too, like, you have to get back into it, you have to be consistent. Like, just know I'm rooting for you, I see you, but you have to keep going. You can't quit just because you're not seeing the engagement that you don't want to see. Sorry, it's worth it, okay? Let's talk about getting paid. So you need to have actionable steps. Negotiate. Negotiation is a part of life. It sucks sometimes, and I wish like I wasn't afraid of it. Like, I've gotten a lot better at it, because it's like closed mouths don't get fed. There's always more money. There's always something that can be negotiated. If a brand comes to you and they're like, hey, we want to give you this product in exchange for this, be like, oh, thank you so much. Like, I would absolutely love to work with you. Can you provide me more information about the deliverables, the scope of the work, and the budget? Talk like you're in corporate. Make them take you seriously, because I'm not about to get your product, feature it in my content, do all this extra work, go through these rounds of approval, and I'm not seeing anything on that. They might offer you an affiliate code, which they weren't going to do before. That's good, but what we really want is packages. We want bundles. We want money. We want checks. We don't want affiliate income. Like, and some people make good money off of that. I haven't really seen like a lot of success with that. I have a lot of discount codes as well, so use my codes. Everything will be linked below, but it's just like, you know, negotiate, okay? You can also pitch. I was able to get my first brand deal, and I literally doubled the amount they were gonna give me, just because I knew the language and I had the media kit and the pitching materials. Like, be comfortable with pitching. I have information on this on my channel already, but if y'all have any questions, definitely drop them down below. Reach out to people. A lot of your favorite brands have a contact us page, and they have their PR email, their marketing email, their influencer email, their collab email. Like, just go look and see. And if not, you email the regular email and ask them to point you in the right direction, or you DM them on Instagram. Closed mouths don't get fed. Shoot your shot. Do your due diligence and do your research, because there's brands out here that want to work with you, and they have the budget and they have the money and they need you. So do it, okay? Are you leading with influence, like if you have thousands upon thousands of followers, or are you leading with your capabilities, which is UGC? Like, you know how to create content, so you can create a video for them that they can use on their website or in an ad or whatever the case may be. Just because you're not where you want to be with the subscriber count or your follower count doesn't mean that you can't still leverage your skills. You have to get creative in order to make this work for you, and you absolutely can do it. Make a portfolio, make a media kit, update it monthly. Like, you have to have those documents. Like, I know some people use rate cards. I don't usually send rate cards, because I like to ask the budget, because you don't want to send your rate card and be like, yeah, this is $100, and then they were about to give you $1,000, you know? So it comes down to three main things, really: quality, creativity, and personality. If you have those three things, that's what you can pitch. Like, that's what will draw brands to you. That's how you get paid. High quality, creativity. Think outside the box. Pitch a new idea, pitch a campaign. Like, give them an idea and position yourself as the only person who can deliver what they want, and then that's how you get the money. And then personality. Don't be afraid to be yourself. There's a whole bunch of the same things going viral. Be different. Like, dare to be different, you know? Especially on YouTube. For me personally, I have just now started to get sponsors. I had a viral video last year. It has about 40,000 views, and after that I went from 700 subscribers to about 2,000, and really quickly 3,000 subscribers. And so I did not get a sponsorship until I had 1,000 subscribers, but I feel like it's still good to get sponsors before I'm in like the tens of thousands or the hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So I'm pretty proud of myself. And with that, you know, it was a wellness drink that sponsored a segment of like one of my reset videos, and your journey is your journey. A brand might sponsor you before you have 1,000 subscribers, before you're even monetized. Don't count yourself out just because, oh, I'm not monetized, or I am monetized and my views are low. Like, pitch, have your email out, create. You never know who's watching and who wants to sponsor you. So we're talking about money, let's talk about rates. Yeah, let's talk about rates. These are the rates that I got from YouTube Black, specifically from the Kensington Gray team, which I hope to be represented by in the near future. They usually work with people who have 100,000 plus followers, subscribers, etc. But you know, I will get there, and maybe they'll see something in me before I get there. So the rate is the rate, period. Don't, like, the rate is the rate. You do this, you're the professional, the rate is the rate. For photos, it should be 3 to 6% of your following, and then a 25% markup for video content. 2,500 for usage rights, which is something that it's like, if you give them the content and they also want to utilize it paid, they want to put paid usage behind it for 12 months, you can have a flat fee of like 2,500, or some people do a percentage monthly. Like, that's how I was able to leverage and get twice the amount of my brand deal money. And then exclusivity, if, like, for example, you work with a brand and you can't work with other brands, that is a bargaining chip for you to be like, well, I'm missing out on income from working with these brands, so you're gonna have to sweeten the deal for me. Ultimately, know your worth and add tax. The business wants to pay you the least amount of money and you want to get the most. So don't be like, oh, I feel bad, oh, I don't want to negotiate. Ask for more, because they're lowballing you. As a rule of thumb, for me personally, I don't think anybody should be getting paid less than $100 for anything, for short form. I don't care, not less than 100, 150 really. And then YouTube is a lot of work, so it needs to be up for that as well. But yeah, and then these are some platforms that they said in the event. I have not tried all of these, but these are platforms they say are paying people and providing people with brand collabs. Ready? Affluencer, Magic Links, LTK, which I just got approved for, also linked below. Obsessed with it. Pinterest shopping, could get representation, like get an agency like Kensington Gray. There's YouTube shopping. Enough about the money talk. Let's talk about like YouTube specific, like analytics, getting your videos out there, the algorithm, because nobody ever wants to talk about the algorithm, so let's talk about it. So this is specifically for YouTube, the YouTube algorithm. I'm not talking about TikTok, I'm not talking about Instagram, I'm not talking about none of that. So let's talk specifically about the YouTube algorithm, analytics, all of that. Think about getting monetized on YouTube. Like, there's multiple ways to monetize your platform. There's brand deals, and then there's the money that AdSense will pay you. When you get monetized on YouTube, Google AdSense is what's paying you. Like, so the ads that you see on my videos, when you watch those, I get paid. So I thought, oh my gosh, I got monetized, I'm about to make all this money. Y'all, my first check was, guess how much? $150. Okay, so again, this is not livable until you're in the thousands of subscribers, the tens of thousands, the hundreds of thousands of subscribers. At least from specifically Google AdSense, it's not livable until you're up there. But you can leverage your engagement, you can leverage your stats to monetize your platform through brand deals and through sponsorships, and that's what a lot of people do. Use the YouTube Studio Analytics tab as your guide. Like, they are literally telling you, it's almost like a rubric. They're telling you what they're looking at. Like, you want to get people to click on your video. That's where thumbnails come in, titles come in. You want to keep them engaged. So providing value. Like, I feel like this video is going to be valuable, so I hope it's reaching the right people. Provide value, keep them watching. And that's how the algorithm will pick up your video and send it out. A couple of factors go into how much your video is pushed out, right? Thumbnails, because you want people to click on it. That's your CTR, your click-through rate. You want that to be high, as high as possible. Like, the highest I've ever seen mine is like 9%. And the lowest, I feel like, you know, I don't know the lowest, but it's like you don't want it to be less than 1%, like 2%. You want it to be high. You want it to be as high as possible. Titles and keywords. I use TubeBuddy. There's also vidIQ. I literally search on YouTube like I'm looking for a regular video, and it'll give me like a ranking of my keywords. It'll be like, oh, 46%. It's very competitive, like there's a lot of competition in this, or like it's not a lot of search volume, like it's too specific. Use those tools to your advantage. And seasonality, you might have a great video, but it's just not the right season. Like, Christmas stuff is probably not going to be popping off right now because we're not in that season. We're not in back to school season. Like, we've worked on our titles, we've had great keywords, but it might be too niche, or it might be too season specific, or there just might be too much competition. Somebody else might be doing something a little bit better or have a little bit more of a base following, so there's like picks up more already. So don't take it personal, but they also, it's like there has to be an interest in the topic and a good search volume. What works for me may not work for you. Like, I've tried to, none of us are really original. Like, we are creative and we are original, but everything is a remix of somebody else. So you might see something that worked for somebody and you do it and it flops. And that's okay, because you might do something and they might try to do it like you and they flop. Just try different things. You have to see what sticks, you know? The audience insights tab and the research tab, that's what your viewers are watching, so that is insightful. I feel like somebody told me before that they didn't see that, and that might be a thing where you have to be monetized in order to see that tab. But go look around in the YouTube studio. I have the app and I have it on my computer, like pinned. Like, go look through all the tabs, see what they're showing you, see what you can find out. Like, it's meant to help you and they're constantly optimizing it. So there's that. There's a specific thing that shows like when your viewers on YouTube, and guess what? They said that it's good for if you're premiering your content, but your go live date or time doesn't necessarily like need to be when your viewers are online, because honestly, most of your viewers are newbies and not the people who are subscribed to you, which is something we'll get into with you know, misconceptions, things I wish I knew, etc. Look at general, like if your video popped off on the 7th day, look at all your videos through the 7-day window. Like, make sure you're standardizing what you're looking through on the YouTube studio, because it's just like, that's just good practice with statistics, with numbers, with analytics. Like, you know, this is really like in the trenches for the girlies who love that stuff, but it's all helpful. They're trying to implement an A/B thumbnail test, which is basically like you could upload 2 different thumbnails and it'll push it out and see which one people are clicking on more. And then after like a certain period of time, maybe like 24 hours, 12 hours, whatever the case may be, they'll just push out the video with the winning thumbnail, which I think would be really cool. I'm excited for that feature. And there's also like, you know, trends.google.com that you could use to see what's trending, what are people searching. Like, you can filter by YouTube, and that could be insightful if you're out of content ideas. But a lot of times people will ask questions and you can make that question like the topic of a different video. Like, there's never an absence of video ideas. People literally make videos of video ideas on TikTok, on here. Like, just search, ask your friends, ask your family, ask your Instagram followers. Like, just do it, you know? This is the biggest thing. I bolded it because they said this is the biggest thing. The algorithm follows the audience. The algorithm follows the audience. So as much as you want to talk about this and you want to do this a certain way, think about your audience. Who are you trying to reach here? What are they searching for? What are they looking at? Like, what's going to appeal to them? The algorithm follows the audience. The audience does not follow the algorithm. The algorithm follows the audience. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It takes into account personalization and interest affinity. Like, you can try different things, like combine different things. Like, I want to do a book review and I love blush, so I'm going to try and combine like books and blush and see if that does anything, because hopefully I get the reader girls and the makeup girlies and we just, you know, lock in. If that's you, subscribe, because I've been obsessed with Frida McFadden and thriller books that I'm currently just obsessed with. So, you know, loading, but just like try different things, combine different things, see if you can pull in multiple audience. Like, you just never know. And performance, I said in the beginning, is based on engagement. Get them to click and get them to stay. Provide value, or, you know, incentivize them to watch it longer. Like, all of these things help to promote your channel and your video. And obviously user satisfaction. Like, if they're liking it, commenting, subscribing, you know, the user surveys, the community tab, like, it's all important. This is a community, this is a platform. So use the platform and just like use the features that have been laid out for you. So now we're gonna talk about the things that nobody tells you, important reminders, things I wish I knew about YouTube specifically, and that's that on that. Now we're just gonna talk about important things to keep in mind. If nobody's told you, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so with brand deals, contracts, like, there's certain language. Like, if they're using perpetuity, usage, like, you need to be charging more, and a lot more, because that means they have your content forever and can use it however they want. It's like a multi-purpose, all hands, like, they can use it for whatever. So you need to be getting paid for that. Then a lot of these brand deals are net 30, 60, 90, as in you do the work and then you get paid 30, 60, 90 days after. So yeah, yay for your 4-figure brand deal. You're not seeing that money for another 2 months, which is crazy because we have bills to pay now. But you know, that's something nobody told me, and something that, you know, it was a surprise, but it's okay. When you're the creator, you're the product. Like, I want to become the owner, you know? Like, me having to show up when I'm down and out, when I'm dealing with life, when I'm having a mentally draining week, like when I don't feel like creating because there's too much going on in the world, when work is really kicking up and I don't really have the time, or like I'm slipping on my time management, like I'm still the product. Like I am not the owner yet, so I still have to perform. And that's something that you have to think about, because consistency is the name of the game. So something to think about when you're your own boss, when you're creating. Like, now that I have a full-time job again, granted it isn't content, but this is content for me, which is completely separate from the content I do for my job. So it's just like, you have to have a structure, because if you don't have structure, which is something I struggled with my entire year when I didn't have a job, it's like, no structure means no discipline. Like, you'll just not do whatever. You need to be your own boss. You need to hold yourself accountable. You need to get up and do what you need to do, even if you don't have to clock in. Like, make your own schedule, clock in, because this is a job. Because if you don't do it, nobody's gonna do it for you. And then you could create for fun, but then you're not gonna see any money off that. And if that's your goal, like, you know, it's just like, we need to be for real, you know? Use your past, like, if people have gifted you for something before, circle back and see if they have any paid collabs. If they've paid you before, see if you can get on a retainer. Like, make a pitch deck, make an evergreen pitch deck, like whatever. Like, just like, you have to get creative with your pitching, because everybody's pitching. Well, not really, but like the people who are pitching. So shoot your shot and stand out with your creativity, or like find a way to upsell, you know your brand, and don't be afraid to rebrand. And that's just that on that, period. Create a proof of concept for what you want. I went to this event and I forgot her name, but she was beautiful black woman. She said she wanted free furniture when she moved, so she started making furniture content with her that was in her house. She started to make furniture content, and guess what? That got her furniture brand deals, so she got a fully furnished home when she moved. That's the opportunities that content creation can do for you. So create a proof of concept. You want makeup? Create makeup content with what you have. You want technology? Feature technology in your content. Like, you have to, you know, you can't just go up to these brands sometimes and be like, take a chance on me. Say they might want to see what you can do. So use what you have to get what you want. It's very possible. And this is the biggest one. You're not going to see results until you're consistent. And consistency on a platform like YouTube means 6 to 8 months of engaging with the platform, promoting your content, and being consistent for 6 to 8 months. Whatever cadence that is, it honestly needs to be at least once a week, 6 to 8 months. That's what consistency is. And if you're not consistent for 6 to 8 months, you're not going to see growth. The algorithm is not going to know if you're here to stay or if you're just for vibes. Like, you need to be consistent. As we know, that's the name of the game. We all struggle, but it's about discipline. It's about showing up when the motivation is there. It's about showing up when you do all this work and you get less than 100 views. It's about pushing through those feelings and being consistent, because you know the reward is on the other end. So yeah. They also did a FAQ session. They had common misconceptions. So let's just immediately go through these. So if your views are low, but your click-through rate and your view duration is okay, what does that mean? That means that there's other videos from your competitors that are doing the same thing, but they're doing the same thing as you, but they're doing it better. So look at what they're doing and see how maybe it could be different, like maybe how it could be better. I know it's hard. Like, this is your baby. You put your work into it, but if your views are low, but your click-through rate and your duration is okay, that means other people are doing it better. And that sucks, but you can learn from them and, you know, make adjustments. Does changing video title or thumbnail re-rank? Sometimes not. It just really depends. Like, it might re-rank your video because, you know, a new thumbnail, like somebody might think it's a completely new video. Like, and sometimes that works and sometimes it won't. But, you know, it's worth a shot. If you're not pleased with your video performance, tweak something. You can't lose. It's like, it can't hurt. So just try it. Does monetization affect video discovery? No. If you take a break from uploading, will that hurt your performance? It says yes and no. If you're in the building stage, then yeah, you need to be consistent. But if you've been established and you have an audience, they'll understand. And when you come back, it's a boosted engagement because they're like, where have you been? Like, you know, you see videos like where I've been, spilling the tea, like I've been MIA, you know. So just keep that in mind. And if one of your videos underperforms, will that hurt your entire channel? No. What matters is how viewers respond to each video. So, and the opposite, like just because you blow up doesn't mean that your channel is set for life. Like you got to keep on going, which is something I'm doing right now. So focus on your audience and the algorithm will follow. Focus on the audience and the algorithm will follow. Random tidbits that I learned from this YouTube Black Insiders event is, you know, if you're making a lot of money, you need to put some away in savings because they're going to tax about half of it. So keep that in mind. Focus on your audience and you'll realize how valuable you specifically are. Like there's nobody who does it like you, so don't forget it. Everything is an opportunity to implement in your lifestyle content. Like if you want to work in the fitness industry but you're not where you want, you're kind of scared, like you could talk about water bottles, you could talk about athletic clothing, you could talk about accessories, you could talk about hair care when working out, skincare when working out. Like there's different ways that you can implement things that you like into like areas that you want to like kind of test the waters in, like. And that's how you stand out because people want you. Like the lifestyle is where it's at. Like it's not every time ad, specific paid promotion. Like just be you, you know? Look through your comments and you'll see certain things, like make keywords, make a word cloud and see what's like really like standing out. Cause people will be like, oh, can you make a video on this? Can you make a video on this? Like they will tell you what they want to see. And I've talked about that already. Like look through your comments, answer your comments and make it a community. Find the holes and fill them with yourself. Like, you are one of one. You are one of one. You are unique. And that's why people are subscribed to you. That's why they follow you. So how can you continue to be you and be your unique and fullest self, you know? There's other things. Eventually you can have digital products and you can have merch and you can have books and all of that stuff. It'll come. And honestly, you know me, I'm delusional. I say start it all now before you make it to where you want to make it. But like, there's just so many ways to diversify your income when you have a platform like this. So don't fumble that. Understand that people still in this big year of 2024 don't understand the importance or the need for content creators, for influencers. They'll not believe in you till you make it big, but we're not worried about them. We're worried about ourselves because, you know, we standing on business over here, me personally at least. So I want us all to learn from each other. So if there's anything that you have questions, comments, concerns about, let's talk about it in the comments. Share, like, for up and coming YouTubers, for people who like took a break or are trying to come back and now it seems like everything's so advanced or everybody wants to do this. Yeah, there's more competition, but again, we could all eat. I'm not for the gatekeeping and but like I'm not for that. We can all eat. There's room at the table for all of us and I want us all to eat. But yeah, the last thing I'll leave y'all with is a couple of things that I've learned in my personal like YouTube journey, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then we'll call that a day, period. On my YouTube journey, I started my channel in the beginning of 2023, so it's been a little bit over a year, and I got most of my subscribers and I got most of my watch hours through one viral video. All it takes is one good video to pop it off and you're set. The hardest part is maintaining, really. Like once you get to where you want to be, there's a level of complacency that almost tries to take you out, and then you're like, oh, I'm viral, like I'm getting watch hours, I'm not even doing anything, I'm getting paid in my sleep, I'm monetized. Then I got that first check and it was 100 and or 150 and I was like, ooh, like that's something, that's a blessing. That's 150 more than I had before, but that's not livable. That's not paying, that's paying a bill, not my bills, you know? So I would recommend that you don't lose focus, and you need to not introduce people to a vibe you can't maintain. I was very motivated in the first like 3 to 6 months, and I was doing 2 uploads a week, like, and I'm gonna try and get back to that this month. No promises, but you'll be seeing more of me for sure because I fell off. I got like 2 uploads out this past February, but you know, it's okay. Life ebbs and flows. But I say all that to say is, YouTube is a lot. Like what goes into making a video is thinking about the video, scripting, your shot list, recording the video, editing the video, adding music, transitions, making it aesthetic, making a thumbnail, doing keyword research, then uploading it into YouTube, and that whole process, making sure it processes, making sure it's no copyright, like then you schedule it at an appropriate time. Like it's a lot of work. And so you need to make sure that you're allotting the time for that. And if you can only do that for one video a week, that's fine. If you can only do it bi-weekly, that's okay too, but hopefully you can get that up to at least once a week. I feel like just being realistic with y'all. I mean, some people might, you know, 2 weeks is low-key a long time. That's only 2 uploads a month. Like, try and make it at least weekly. Like, people want to see you, you know? So I know that's a lot. Life be life, and you can have certain breaks, but just, you know, be consistent and the rewards will follow. Again, most of your supporters will be people you've never met. Some people will support you in your circle. I'm grateful. I do have people who support me and watch videos as they can. I understand a lot of us like are not YouTube girlies. Like, people really prefer short form these days. Like, our attention spans have gotten so small, but you know, it's still crazy to observe how literal strangers are ride or dies, always, like, you know, in my comments, always boosting me, always hyping me up. Like, I love that. I feel so loved. I feel so seen. I feel so supported. I feel so cheered on. But sometimes I'm like, wow, I wish this could be coming from inside the house. It could be coming from inside the circle. You know what I'm saying? Like, no lost love on the people who want to support you or the people who don't want to support you, or like your circle, or who you think should be supporting you. Like, pay attention to the people who are cheering you on and appreciate that, because they don't even need to be doing all that. But, and that's what I'm saying, like, sometimes your video is not going to pop, but even if it helps one person, like for me, I know that social media can be a really dark space for a lot of people. So my purpose is to share love and light and insight. I don't believe in gatekeeping. I don't believe in like spewing negativity. Like, I hold space for negative emotions and like honor like my struggles and things like that, but I don't want social media to be any more negative than it already is by my hand. If I have a hand in it, I want it to be love. I want it to be light. I want it to be helpful. So even if one person gets that feeling from my video, it's worth it to me. Even if this video doesn't go viral and pop off, I'm gonna be like, wow, I put in some work, but maybe it'll pop off later and I wish it could. But like, if one person gets one insightful thing from this video, I'm happy. And that's the mindset I think you should adopt, because sometimes you think a video is gonna pop and it doesn't, it flops, and that's okay, because you never know when it'll pick up. I have friends who have videos that went viral a year later, a month later, a week later. You never know, so don't like lose hope. But the biggest thing I would say is like try to stay up, try to be consistent. Don't let more than 2 weeks. Really, I'm telling y'all, like, when you fall off of a YouTube grind, it is so hard to get back on. YouTube is so much more work than all the other platforms, so if you fall off, it takes a lot to get back on it, and then when you're on it, it's good. But I understand life happens, you know, life, the world, family, health, mental, like, it's a lot, but you can do it. And you know, I'm rooting for you. If you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. Make a content schedule. I make mine in Notion, and I put like the days I want my videos to come out, and then, you know, I add filming days and editing days in there, like days plural, because I used to be really bad at this. I'm a night owl, so sometimes I would start filming at like 7, I'd be done filming by like 9, then I'd upload everything to my computer, I'd be editing until 2 a.m, then I'm scheduling, and then I go to bed at 5. That is so unhealthy. I believe in my wellness. That is so bad for my sleep schedule, for my hormones, like staying up all night, then I'm eating, I'm snacking, it throws me off for the week. Don't do that. Don't try and become a creator, like push stuff out at the expense of your health. That's something I would tell myself real bad. Like, it's not worth that. It'll come out when it needs to come out, and it'll pop off in due time. But it's hard, I understand. Like, so pace yourself, plan, make a content schedule, and just know that like we're rooting for you. Like, we want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. YouTube is hard, but it's not impossible, and you can do hard things. So yeah, that's really all like I wanted to say. Like, I love YouTube. It's become one of my favorite platforms. I want that plaque, which means I want that 100K. I know that's bold, that's big, but in due time, that's gonna happen. I want to find my people. I want to find the content that works. And if this was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, I'm always rooting for you. As always, it's much love. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment. And yeah, much love always. I'll see you in the next video, and go create that content. You got it.